Hey guys, this is Jacob from Engadget, and I'm taking a quick look at the Samsung Galaxy Pro. This is a candy bar device with a 2.8-inch touchscreen on top, and then a full QWERTY physical keyboard on the bottom. It's running Android 2.2 Froyo and not the latest 2.3 Gingerbread, and then it also is customized with Samsung's version of TouchWiz, which is an Android skin on top of it. As you can see, the front of the device has, again, this 2.8-inch touchscreen along the top. Along the front, there's also 4 hardware buttons, one for menu, home, back, and search, which are just the standard Android hotkeys. Samsung has decided to forego any sort of navigation ball or trackpad in the middle of the device and instead put 4 arrow keys along the bottom. So what that does is means that the up arrow key takes up a precious slot in the 3rd row of keys. And then the addition of a question mark key also shifts everything else to the left by 1. You can remove the battery cover like so, and you'll see that there is a 1350 milliamp hour battery, full SIM card slot, and then a micro SD card slot along the side. So you can expand it up to 32 gigs of memory through that. It's running Android 2.2, but it's also customized with Samsung's TouchWiz launcher. So basically what that does is you'll notice the addition of these 4 icons along the right-hand side of the screen. Unfortunately, these 4 buttons are not user configurable, so you're kind of stuck with them whether or not these are going to be the functions that you use most. The problems kind of start when we think about the screen size, and then also the fact that it's a landscape device, unlike most Android devices that are primarily in portrait. They've put these toggles for connectivity along the top. And they're kind of great in theory, but at the same time, they take up a lot of space on the screen. So you really can only see like 1 or 2 notifications, maybe 3 at a time. Let's jump into the browser for a second. One of the things that we'd like to point out is that there is no multi-touch in this device whatsoever. So you can't pinch to zoom, and instead if you want to zoom, you have to use the on-screen toggles. And text is pretty much illegible when you're zoomed out. And then double tapping doesn't necessarily work it works pretty well on these kinds of sites, but it's kind of iffy. So we found ourselves using the zoom in and zoom out buttons a lot more than that. So let's just do a quick little size comparison. Again, so we have an iPhone over here. You can see the Galaxy Pro it's quite a bit shorter, but also much wider than the iPhone 4. In terms of thickness, it's just a hair thinner, but it's still a pretty thin device. And this is just one example of a device that is in the candy bar form factor, which is really kind of a rarity from manufacturers these days. If you really do need a physical keyboard and you are want to get started with Android, this is a device to keep in mind, though there are other options like the Droid Pro that you may want to take a look at as well.